Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
So today we're looking at something maybe a little unexpected. It's a charming video from YouTube.
Oh, yeah. What's the source?
It's called Milo the Sleepy Mouse, calming bedtime story for kids with relaxing music from the Snuggle channel.
Okay, a bedtime story. Interesting angle for a deep dive.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Because while it is a kid's story, Milo's search for, the perfect night's sleep,
Mm-hmm.
it actually touches on some really relatable things like finding comfort, dealing with noise.
Absolutely. It sounds simple, but often those simple stories tap into something universal. Milo looking for his quiet spot. That's something we all kind of do, trying to create our own peaceful environments.
Right. So our mission today is basically to follow Milo's little adventure and see what insights pop up about sleep, comfort, and maybe those everyday sounds we don't always think about.
Sounds good. Let's dive in. Where does Milo start his journey?
Okay, so picture this. Milo and his brother Max, they share this really cozy little mouse hole. It's in the wall of a bedroom in a human house.
Cozy is the word. This story mentions they have these beds made of wool. Soft, warm.
Yeah, you can almost feel it. And they both have the same dream, apparently. Cheddar cheese. Lots of it.
A mouse's paradise.
Yeah.
But there's always a catch, isn't there?
There is. The main issue, the thing that kicks this whole thing off,
Hmm.
is Max's snoring.
Ah, the classic sleep disruptor, even in a mouse hole.
Exactly. It's not like all night, every night, but it's enough to sometimes wake Milo up, right when he's dreaming of that cheddar. A little snuffle here, a bigger snore there.
And that's frustrating. Interrupting cheese dreams is serious business for a mouse, I imagine.
Totally. So Milo gets this idea. He needs his own place, a quiet place, no snoring allowed, just pure, uninterrupted cheese dream potential.
It's that desire for your own space, isn't it? Especially when it comes to rest. You just want that predictable quiet.
Yeah. And he makes this big announcement over breakfast, which, by the way, is toasted breadcrumbs. Nice detail.
Oh, lovely. What does he say?
He basically tells Max, I'm off to find my own mouse hole. I'm practically grown up now.
Oh, that feeling of striking out on your own, even for a mouse. How does Max take it?
Max is actually really good about it. Supportive. Wishes him luck. But he also says, remember, you always have a home here. That kind of brotherly thing.
That's nice. A little safety net reminder. It adds a bit of warmth, knowing he's not just being kicked out.
Definitely. So Milo sets off, feeling pretty independent. His first stop is exploring the bedroom itself, outside the mouse hole.
And what's the bedroom like from a mouse's perspective?
Well, it's described as a maze of gigantic, colorful building blocks and shiny toy cars. Just kid clutter everywhere.
Okay, so visually stimulating, maybe a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, and apparently Milo's a bit of a neat freak. The story says Max taught him to like tidiness. So this messy landscape, not appealing.
Interesting. So it's not noise that puts him off here. It's the visual chaos, the lack of order.
Exactly. It shows that comfort isn't just about sound, right? The environment matters. So he doesn't linger. Off he goes.
Where to next?
He heads for the living room. Big contrast. It's bright, clean, wooden floor. You get this great little sound detail, the click, click, click of his tiny paws.
I can picture that. And does he find a potential spot there?
He does. Behind the sofa, he finds this really spacious mouse hole. Looks perfect at first glance.
Jackpot, maybe? What does he do?
He's thrilled. Starts decorating immediately, pulls soft feathers out of the sofa cushion to make a bed, really trying to make it comfortable, focusing that soft, tactile feel.
Setting up shop. Sounds promising. But I sense another but coming.
Oh yeah, big butt. Night comes, he settles into his lovely feather bed, and then the humans arrive.
Ah, the occupants of the house.
Yep. They're sitting on the sofa, chatting away. The TV comes on, flashing moving pictures, the story calls it, with all sorts of voices and music mixed together.
Sensory overload, then. Not exactly the quiet he was hoping for.
Not at all. And his reaction is really telling. He thinks this is worse than Max's snoring.
That's key, isn't it? It's not just loudness, it's the type of noise. That unpredictable mix of sounds is much harder to ignore than a steady snore.
Exactly. The familiar rhythmic sound versus chaotic, unfamiliar noise. Big difference in how disruptive it feels.
It really makes you think about how our brains filter sound, what we can tune out, and what grabs our attention.
So the living room dream is over. He needs a new plan. Where does a mouse go next?
Let me guess. The kitchen. Always potential for crumbs there.
You got it. He scurries off to the kitchen. Another sound detail. Black and white tiled floor. His paws go tap, tap, tap.
Okay, different acoustics. And what's the appeal there? Besides potential snacks.
He finds a hole behind the fridge, and the big draw is the smell. Cheesy cooking smells wafting from the fridge. He makes a little bed out of a paper towel this time.
Right, appealing to a different sense now, smell. Maybe the nice aroma will counteract any noise.
Good theory, but nope. Just as he's drifting off, dreaming of cheese again probably. Bang, clang. Huh, what now? Pots and pans. And then this great gush of water.
Yeah.
Turns out the man of the house is washing dishes wearing yellow gloves and making quite a racket.
So, more unpredictable, loud, utilitarian sounds. Not exactly soothing.
Not at all. It's like this escalating series of noise challenges for poor Milo. First snoring, then TV and chatter, now clanging dishes and rushing water.
It really highlights how many sounds fill a typical home, things we barely notice but could be really jarring if you're specifically seeking silence.
Definitely. So Milo's getting tired, a bit desperate. He has a moment of inspiration, though. A logical thought.
Which is?
If the humans are downstairs making noise, go upstairs, where they aren't.
Smart mouse. Makes sense.
So off he goes, climbing the stairs. He's sleepy now. The story notes the carpet is soft under his paws, a nice change from the hard floors.
A bit quieter, maybe.
He gets upstairs and finds a bathroom. And initially, bliss. It's dark, seems cozy, and it's silent.
Finally.
Relief. Does he find a spot? Yep. A little hole behind a clothes basket. He gathers some cotton balls. Not as nice as wool, the story implies, but hey, it's quiet. And he makes his bed.
Okay. Third time's the charm. Please say yes.
Afraid not. Just as he's settling, whoosh, that sound again. Gushing water.
Don't tell me. The shower.
The shower. Yeah. Loud, steamy, another watery disruption.
He cannot catch a break with water sounds. But hang on, does this story say anything interesting here? About the shower sound itself?
It does, actually. He briefly considers it, thinks the sound might be a little bit relaxing, like maybe a steady rushing sound isn't so bad.
That's fascinating. A hint that perception can shift. Even a loud sound, if it's constant and predictable, maybe becomes less jarring than sudden bangs or mixed noises. Have you ever found that? Like a fan noise or rain?
Yeah, totally. White noise machines are based on that idea, right?
Yeah.
But ultimately, Milo decides, nope, still not perfect. The quest for real quiet continues. Or rather, ends.
He gives up on finding a new place.
He does. He heads back downstairs, back towards the bedroom, and when he gets there, surprise, the humans have tidied up.
Oh, so the messy building blocks and cars are gone?
All put away. The room looks much calmer, more inviting.
And then he sees his old home.
He sees the mouse hole, and inside there's Max, asleep in his wool bed. And Milo's own bed is there, looking warm and soft and familiar.
That must have been such a welcome sight after his noisy night.
He lets out this happy sigh, feels like he's truly home, and then Max wakes up.
Is he annoyed Milo's back?
Not at all. Super welcoming. Oh, you're back! And then, the best bit, he offers to make Milo a cheese sandwich.
Ah, perfect mouse comfort food. That's really sweet.
It really is. So Milo tells Max all about his adventures. The messy room, the loud living room, the clanging kitchen, the shower. Acknowledges it was kind of fun exploring, but at night, home is best.
That realization, there's no place like home, especially when you're tired and overwhelmed.
Exactly. So he climbs back into his own wool bed. Max tucks him in. Another lovely touch.
And the comfort level, compared to feathers or cotton balls.
Way better. The wool, the familiar smell, it just feels right. And then comes the crucial moment.
Max is snoring.
Max starts his quiet snoring again. But this time, after all the other noises Milo experienced, it sounds different to him.
How so?
The story says he now hears it as a soothing lullaby.
Wow. What a shift. The very sound that drove him away is now comforting.
Isn't that something? It went from irritating disruption to, like, a sound signal that means he's safe, he's home, everything's okay.
That perfectly illustrates how context and experience completely reframe our perception of sounds, especially familiar ones.
Totally. He's finally content, ready for a good sleep, anticipating those cheese dreams, undisturbed, even with a gentle snoring nearby.
So Milo's big adventure wasn't really about finding perfect silence. It was about finding comfort in familiarity.
Yeah, it seems that way. What started as an annoying noise became, well, part of the comfort of home once he'd experienced how truly disruptive other sounds could be.
It makes you think about our own lives, doesn't it? Those background noises in our own homes or environments that we probably filter out. The hum of the fridge, the heating clicking on, maybe even sounds from neighbors or the street.
Right. That might drive a guest crazy. But for us, they're just part of the background hum of home, maybe even reassuring in a way.
Or think about the places where you feel you can really rest. Is it always the quietest place? Or is it the place that feels most familiar, most secure, regardless of the odd noise?
That's a great point. So, wrapping up this little dive into Milo's world, he set out looking for quiet, but maybe found something more important,
It seems like it. Perhaps the journey wasn't just about finding a peaceful place to sleep, but about understanding what truly constitutes home. And maybe home includes those little imperfections, like a brother snoring.
which leads to a final thought for you listening. What are those maybe unexpected, possibly imperfect elements in your own environment that actually contribute to your sense of comfort, your feeling of belonging, the things you might only notice if they were suddenly gone?
Something to ponder. It's often not the perfect silence, but the familiar rhythm of life around us.